This happened when I was no more than 10 or 11 years old. My friends and I were playing cricket on Banktop Field. It was a bright autumnal day, in late September. The sun had dropped down below the old buildings lining Whitelands Road, and we were all starting to think of our stomachs. Mine growled like a grizzly bear. "I need to get home," said Paul. "Mum'll be wondering about me. I'll be lucky if she lets me out tomorrow. It's Saturday tomorrow." "There's no school the day after," said Bruno. "Yeah, I need to go too," I said. "I'm starving." Bruno groaned. Paul laughed. "Which way shall we go?" I asked. I didn't fancy going back the way we'd come. The route through the cut from the field to Courier Lane led right past the old, abandoned cottage. "Come on, scaredy," said Paul. It was Bruno who laughed then. Resigned, I packed up my stumps. Bruno retrieved his coat and his new, bright red corky. We'd been playing with my old, scuffed cricket ball. Bruno's was as red as a traffic light. Paul slung his bat over his shoulder and we set off. It was a well-oiled and cared-for bat, of which he was quite proud. It was getting dark through the cut by the time we reached it. Night was coming. The narrow run through the trees by old Mab's cottage was spookier than ever. I stopped a moment, my feet wouldn't move, my legs felt frozen solid. Paul, the youngest of our trio, ran on singing, "Mab's dead. She's very, very dead. She'd lost her head when they found her." He was repeating the ditty as he ran into the gloom of the trees. "Paul, don't," I grumbled, but he was gone and couldn't hear me. It was years since the previous owner, someone called Mab, lived in the old cottage. Rumors were rife about why she left and what happened to her son. "Paul!" Bruno and I shouted. There was a scream in the dark. Bruno set off running towards it. Reluctantly, I followed. "Are you okay, Paul?" I called. Passing a rotting cricket bat laying on the ground, I saw Bruno just ahead. He was staring at the window on the first floor. His normally olive-colored skin paler than snow. When I reached him, he wordlessly pointed to the window. Hanging over a beam in the upstairs room was a thick and dirty rope, covered in thick, dusty cobwebs. Dangling from the rope was a child's body. The tatty, frayed and faded red jumper it wore looked just like Paul's.